B-flat kitty, Tourette's anti-fart conspiracy theorist. I'm wearing this tinfoil hat to stop the government from controlling my thought patterns. If I talk too loud...
Hello, this is Sarah. How are you?
Fart.
We're out here in the jungle. We like to call it the shit. That's what my pappy always said. Looking for landmines. You know, Qaeda, you know, that Bin Laden asshole.
So good to hear you. Thank you for calling
Found
us.
weapons of mass destruction. Saddam controlling UN. Terror. Did not sell him poison gas.
Like most stars, the sun has been growing increasingly brighter with time. If I compared solar irradiance with global temperatures over the last 500 million years, I'd get no better a correlation than Carter did with carbon dioxide. But if we combine the two, solar irradiation and carbon dioxide, then there's a very good correlation.
We're out here looking for landmines. They like to hide them in the camel dung. That's their favorite place out in the desert and in the jungles because, you know, it hides under there and, you know, no one's going to look under there. But we have this special stick. This was given to me 2 years ago from the CIA for all the great work I did with my experience in martial arts, Thai bow, and singing. I got my way in. Fire it all!
Thank you, sir. We have such great respect for you, John McCain and I.
His douchebag. Oh, run into some environmental issues. Altering scientific research data to make it look like American science doesn't add up to what the rest of the world had to say about global warming.
Since 1880, we have a reliable record of instrumental temperature observations. During most of that time, tree ring data tracked closely with instrumental temperatures. But around 1960, the trees diverged from the actual temperature. No one knows why, but theories range from drought, temperature change, to pollution or acid rain. The problem has been widely discussed in the technical literature. Dr. Mann's challenge was to come up with a way to smoothly meld the divergent temperature data from tree rings in with the more accurate instrument data. The trick is to make sure the graph was based on the more reliable actual temperatures and phase out the tree rings. The phrase, hide the decline, does not refer to temperature, but rather to the divergence of the tree ring data. But why let a fact get in the way of a good talking point?
Mr. Jones talked to Mr. Mann about the trick of adding in the real temps to each series to hide the decline in temperature. In other words, an outright...
No, but we like wrestlers.
Yesterday, we showed you the messages between the scientists bragging about climate tricks used to hide the decline in temperatures.
They talked about hiding the decline in temperatures of the last half of the last century.
He said anus.
And I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your name is. If you have a funny name, you have a name I can't pronounce, we're targeting you. Bill of Rights. We have to take care of business. What to do is I wear a tinfoil on my head. I know that sounds funny, but tinfoil, when you wrap it around your head, the enemy can't use satellites and different lasers and things like that to get into your mind.
I'll come back to this later, but why is the correlation so good if there are all these other factors? Well, the Earth's tilt and orbit are predictable and run in cycles. The effect of particulates is usually short-lived, and the concentration of water vapor is controlled by temperature, so it acts as an amplifier rather than a prime driver of climate. Over the long term, carbon dioxide and solar output, or irradiance, are the biggest variables. Let me put this very simply with an analogy. Let's say you're staying in a house in midwinter, and all you have to heat it with is a fireplace and an electric heater. If they're both full on, you'll bake, and if they're both turned down very low, you'll freeze. The house could even get cold if the fire's going nicely, but the heater's turned down very low. So the Earth's climate depends on a combination of factors. And it's actually quite lucky for us that carbon dioxide levels have generally fallen over geological time to balance the growing irradiance of the sun.
Oh, very good. We should go hunting together.